Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm your tarot reader Stephanie, and today's reading is about September 2025's monthly predictions. We're going to see what the month of September has in store for you. We have four piles here for you today. Pile 1, we have the garnet palm stone. Pile 2, we have the selenite palm stone. Pile 3, we have the black moonstone. And pile 4, we have a golden healer quartz. So take a few deep breaths, think about the month of September, and I will be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the garnet palm stone, then we have a reading here for you for the month of September. We're going to see what the month of September has in store for you. Sorry, I am stuttering over my words. So, I was getting a song. It's kind of a banger. It's an old song. Tonight? It's either called Tonight or Feels Like Tonight by Daughtry. The specific lyric coming through is the chorus, and there's nothing that I want to do than try to make it up to you. So somebody could be coming in with an apology, in with some sort of explanation, in with some sort of what's the word? They're trying to make it up to you. They're trying to make things better, which I think is sweet, depending on what the situation is, of course. But let's go ahead and look at the cards you chose. I've pre-selected your oracles. Let's start with this one. Falling leaves. Let go of the things that weigh heavily on you. You deserve to take up space, number 14. So there's something on your mind, there's something on your chest, there is some sort of heavy energy that you have been carrying. You may have been carrying this for some time, or maybe you're just recently taking it upon you. But I feel like you're letting this go. I feel like if there's any issues, any situation that is causing you more stress, worry, anxiety than necessary, you're letting it go, or you're letting it fall off to the wayside. I'm kind of getting that. It's not that you're avoiding it, and it's not that you're not caring about it. It's more like if there's something you can't, like if there's nothing you can do about something, you're not going to carry it. If you can't do anything about the situation immediately, or if it needs time to be thought about, you'll get to that later. I'm getting that. So it's kind of like you're going to be busy, or you're just not going to waste your precious time, energy, effort on anything that is going to weigh you down this month. And I love that for you, pile 1. So let's get the rest of your cards. We have the Ankh, Life Force, number 10. We have Manat, Destiny. I'm hearing Destiny awaits me. You can't be bothered by... Why am I hearing plebs? You can't be bothered by like the mundane... I'm also hearing muggles. I don't know. It's like you're categorizing issues into what matters and what doesn't matter. And what doesn't matter, you're not going to carry. Just because your time and energy is so precious. And I think you're acknowledging that that's part of your destiny. That's part of your life calling here. The world, the universe does not want you to suffer. And I feel like you're finally understanding that this month. Maybe you've always known that, but this month it's like really showing up for you and you're acting accordingly. We also have Pomegranate, number 29. Dare to taste the unknown, let it seduce your spirit awake. Of course, pomegranates do make me think of the myth of Hades and Persephone, which is also appropriate for this time of year, the fall season. You know, that's when Persephone goes down to the underworld and everything shrivels up and dies. So I feel like this month, you're allowing yourself to indulge. It's almost like if you have any responsibilities, if they can wait, you're going to make them wait. If you can put it off another day, you're going to put it off another day, and you're going to do things that make you happy. You're going to do things that fill your cup. You're going to focus on you because you understand that if you do, then things will be better for everybody, not just yourself, but everybody else around you. We also have power over 7 scorpions, power to conjure lower vibrational forces. I'm going to read about this. I don't think I've gotten this card yet in this deck. But it's definitely calling back your power in a way that I think you're not used to, pile 1. I feel like you're acknowledging your worth. You're also acting on it. Like you're actually putting it into practice. It's not just it's not just talking the talk. It's not just liking the inspirational quotes on social media. It's actually acting according to the belief that you know that your time and energy is precious, that you have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. And I feel like people are either going to hate this or love this. You're definitely going to polarize people, and that's okay, because people who truly love you will understand that you need this for yourself. People who are only using you for what you have to offer are going to be mad about it. The fact that I'm stumbling over my words a lot, like I do exercises to make sure that I'm speaking well sometimes, because my voice isn't always there. But I feel like some of you aren't used to this voice. You're not used to expressing this. You're not used to communicating this. So it's going to feel foreign to you. If this is something you express verbally, it's going to feel weird in your mouth, pile one. So you may actually have some trouble finding your words, but the words will hit home regardless. Like, people are going to listen to what you have to say. It's like, you know, when a baby's learning to talk and people are like really quiet, and even though the baby's not talking perfectly, it's important because they're learning to talk. So everything that they say is taken seriously and people are proud. And it's like, yes, baby, say the words, say the words. That's what I'm hearing. That's how your spirit guides are acting this month, pile one. But let me read for power over 7 Scorpions. This is definitely Plutonic and or Scorpio energy here, because like I said, you're polarizing people. Some of you could have very strong Aquarius placements because Pluto is currently in Aquarius, or something significant could be impacting your natal Pluto. We are in Virgo season at the beginning of this month, so you could have Pluto in Virgo or Pluto in Libra once we head into Libra season for a lot of you. 125. Somebody could have been born the 25th of January, which would make you an Aquarius actually. And maybe you've definitely been feeling that Plutonic, Pluto, transformational, intense energy. We have, you are being initiated into the magic of conjuring to have power to affect lower vibrational forces through your own will and spoken word. Again, something about speaking could actually be important here. You are guided to use this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can manage any toxicity in your life swiftly and with great effect. It's almost like if anybody's been knocking you down, if you have any bullies, hopefully you don't, pile one, but maybe some of you have adult bullies, unfortunately, or anyone who doesn't believe in you, you're telling them what's what. You might even be putting them in their place, because the way I'm speaking in this particular pile, I don't always speak this way, but I feel like I'm speaking with intention and with like I'm getting a point across, like I'm trying to say something important and it needs to be heard. It will be said, it needs to be heard. I love this. Whatever this energy is, pile one, I'm loving this for you. You also chose garnet, which is actually, again, January is coming through. Maybe some of you were born in January. Love my January babies out here. So, and garnet is actually one of my favorite stones. To me, it's one of the most grounding, more so than all the other ones. It literally feels heavy. And I feel like that weighs down the energy as well. So you're very grounded this month, or you may need a little bit of extra grounding. So pile one, a few more oracles. I'm going to get into the tarot. We have magic. Some of you could literally be working with magic. We have embrace. Beautiful. You're embracing aspects of yourself that you typically don't, because I feel like you're no longer afraid. And heal. And this is definitely like a very healing energy, but it's empowering. More than healing, it's empowering. It's one thing to heal. It's another thing to strengthen. It's like when you, let's say, and for example, when you break an arm, a bone or something, you're going to need to heal it. But then what happens when you heal it? Your muscle atrophies a little bit. You know, it gets weak because you've been focused on healing what's going on inside. And then you strengthen that muscle. So I feel like more so than healing, you are strengthening what you've got going on here, pile one. So let's get into the tarot. We're going to do it in 3 parts. If you've never been to my monthly readings, I do the tarot in 3 sections, which is the general, love, relationships, and career and finance. Sometimes one will stand out more than the other, like sometimes finances come through more than career. And sometimes relationships, like love relationships, will come through more than friendships. So let's do general for my pile one. And if this is resonating so far, you can like, comment, and subscribe. So there must be some new people here because one, this energy feels different. And two, I usually don't explain a lot about myself in the middle of the reading. So we have the Page of Cups, emotional immaturity. We're not here for it. You've dealt with it. You're done with it. We've got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're lifting up that mask. You're no longer being a victim of circumstance. We have the Eight of Cups. Also, even though you feel passionately about something, you're not letting those emotions guide you. You're letting... It's like you're letting... It's almost like you're logical about this. Some of you might like to do that weird ticking thing I just did. I don't typically do that. Some of you might be thinking very logically, very rationally that you have put up with enough. Oh, I love this energy. Pile 1. We have the Two of Wands, decisions. Queen of Cups reversed. Some of you could be dealing with either a mother or a fraternal figure or some feminine energy that is very immature. And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, people are acting shady around you. I'm not surprised that the energy I read in the oracles is very much of somebody not putting up with ish at all, because you're dealing with people who do not want to take accountability for the things they do when they lash out. I feel like people have been very immature around you, or they refuse to acknowledge how they make people feel or what they're doing. Somebody here could be very dishonest. This feels like a friend. This could be, again, Queen of Cups energy. They could be a water sign. They feel like a former friend, honestly. Or somebody who's just... It's like you confront them. But either... I feel like it's not the first time. Or I feel like this is like the last straw. Like you don't typically do confrontation, but you will this time because somebody has gone too far and you're kind of done with it. Back of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands, and it's gonna drag out a little bit, unfortunately, but I feel like you're making it a point because you're just done with somebody's BS here. You're done, and I'm honestly here for it. I'm here for this energy, and let's get into the relationships and friendships, because I feel like this has to do with somebody that you know, somebody that either you once cared about, maybe you still care about them, but it's like you're no longer putting up with the BS. Because I'm definitely seeing an energy of either they start acting right or you cut them off, which is only fair. Because I feel like for a lot of you, it's not the first time. Or even if it is, you're not dealing with that. Like you're not going to have somebody keep acting up in front of you. And this doesn't feel like a child. If it is a child, if this is like your own child, they're an adult who should know better. For some of you, it could be your mother. So I feel like there could be family dynamics here as well. So take whichever resonates. It could be either or, maybe all of the above. And for some of you, especially if you date women or more feminine energy, this is them. I feel like for a lot of you, this is definitely, it could fall into the romance section. So relationships, because I feel like this is where this is headed. We have the Three of Wands. Branching out. We have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, you're making new friends. You're making new friends, because I hear branching out. I hear making friends with other friends. Like you meet new people through other people and you may hit it off with those people. Yeah, Page of Wands. They could be younger than you. They could be a fire sign. They could empower you. I feel like wisdom can come from anybody at any age. We expect it from our elders, but sometimes it can come from people younger than us who have learned how to put up with less BS. You know, I feel like, especially, again, I'm thinking of women from the past probably learn a lot more from younger women who are more empowered in their independence. That's kind of a generalization, but that's an example I'm being shown. It doesn't have to be women, it's just an example that came through. So I feel like you could be making either younger friends or fire sign friends. Regardless, these friends empower you. Because they're like, why are you putting up with that? You know, they're like, why do you deal with this nonsense? Yeah, the Ace of Wands. Yeah, inspiration. You're being empowered by other people around you, by new people around you. Two of Pentacles. Because sometimes it takes an outside perspective, yeah, the Hangman, to show you how you're not being treated well, or how things are not fair to you, or how somebody's actions were actually not okay. I think some of you in the past have been in an energy where you put up with a lot, and I mean a lot, and it took somebody new coming into your life, showing you that that's not okay and that that's actually not normal behavior. Back of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is meant to empower you, because this person, these people, it could even be somebody online. For a lot of you, it could be somebody like again, I'm thinking of inspirational quotes. I'm thinking of inspirational type of accounts empowering you to do better for yourself, because you've been putting up with a lot. So that's what I see in relationships. A lot of new energy. I feel like you're going to be making a lot of new friends, new people, especially if you're in a new environment. But that's all I have for that. Let's move on to career. I thought there was going to be more, but I feel like you're meant to play this out on your own. So pile one. In career and finance, what's going on here? What's going on in your job, workplace? Yeah, the Two of Swords. People are not talking about something that needs to be talked about. Queen of Swords. For some of you, this energy could be extending into the workplace. It's like you need information and people are not informing you. And you're kind of annoyed with that. So you may actually take it upon yourself to ask somebody who knows something. It's like, hey, I need the... Oh, yeah. Okay. It's like, hey, I need to know something. The Moon. Lots of secrets. Could border on gossip, but it doesn't have to be. The Five of Pentacles. It's like you're being kept out of something and you're tired. Ten of Swords. Back of the card, the Tower. Okay. My voice got really quiet because, well, one, you might have to watch what you're saying in the workplace. Two, there's certain things that are not being said that involve you, and I think you're annoyed with it. This would be like you ask for a review, or a review is due for you. Like maybe you have a yearly review, and rather than have it, somebody keeps delaying it, or they keep postponing it, or they have it ready but they don't want to tell you, and maybe they're even holding it. Like somebody here is playing mind games with you in the workplace, and you're not having it. The Knight of Cups is interesting because I feel like this I'm seeing as either emotional interest, like emotional investment, or romantic investment. That somebody here could be being influenced by somebody either emotionally, like they're a close friend, or romantically, like they're, together and nobody knows about it. You could know something about this. You may not know something about it. You may find out about it, especially next to the Moon. Secrets will be revealed this month for sure. And I feel like it might actually impact what's going on with you, which is kind of annoying. Very petty energy in the workplace, unfortunately, but I have seen it before because unfortunately it has happened. I don't want to provide examples, but the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. When it comes to your finances, I do believe you should save up more. I feel like either, especially if you're due for a raise, the raise is delayed or your check is delayed, something along those lines. So you're definitely having to talk about something here with somebody. Oh, somebody could be withholding money from you, especially if you quit a job, or especially if you're like waiting for a check to come through and it never does. Tower moment, the Hanged One. There's going to be a shakeup in the workplace. There's going to be new energy. Unfortunately, and I feel like this is part of what fuels this energy within you to just not put up with BS anymore. So do keep receipts. This feels like Mercury in retrograde, but Mercury in retrograde is over. So just be careful with what is said, what is being said. Keep a paper trail. I feel like that's just good advice in general in any workplace, but I feel like in this instance, you're going to need a paper trail, or ask for something in writing. Ask for something in writing. Email somebody to ask for something in writing. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing in the workplace. It's interesting. The workplace got a little bit quiet. Maybe not everybody here is resonating with workplace situations. So let's move on to your closing advice. Maybe go pile one. I'm going to use the Froggies, Little Froggies Guide to Self-Care for pile one. I do feel for some of you, it didn't come through in the tarot, but I do feel like somebody here is trying to make it up to you. So if somebody here messed up, I feel like they're gonna like literally try to make it up to you or try to change their ways, which I think is sweet. So pile 1. We have, I am not my past. If people thought they could take advantage of you because they were able to do so in the past, I feel like they're not going to be able to do so anymore. They don't understand that you've changed. They don't understand that you're not going to keep being the person that they thought you would be, because people change and evolve, and that's okay. Like, you're meant to change and evolve. You're not meant to put up with BS forever. And I think this is where somebody here messes up. Hopefully it's the workplace situation so that they treat you better. Definitely the friends that are going to empower you to see how you're not being treated well. Back of the deck. I am allowed to rest without guilt. Yeah, some of you might need some much needed rest, but this is where I leave it, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the selenite palm stone, then we have a reading here for you for the month of September. We're going to see what the month of September has in store for you. It may be either a busy or a loud or noisy month for you, because literally as soon as I started your reading or tried to start your reading, I heard an airplane, there's bugs outside, I guess cicadas, really loud ones, my stomach was growling. I was like, why is everything getting noisy as soon as I'm about to start recording your reading? But it could be an eventful or maybe just plain noisy month for you. Pile 2. So let's start with the card that you chose. I already have your oracles pre-selected. We have grieving, number 19. The chambers of your mourning are surrounded by nothingness, emptiness waiting to be seen. So you could be letting go of something. Whatever you are grieving, I feel like you're really giving yourself the time to process whatever this is. If it's not grieving, it could be any sort of emotion that needs to be released. For example, in our everyday life, I feel like we just move, from task to task, from object to object, from point A to point B, that sometimes we'll get emotions caught up within ourselves without realizing it. And it's kind of like, let's say you're on your way to work, but like you saw something on your way to work or heard something on your way to work that reminded you of something from your past or something that you're going through. Maybe it stirred up an emotion. And it's like that grieving process has started. It's like, oh, I need to feel this out, but you can't because you're too busy doing things. So make sure you're carving out time in your day, in the month at least, to grieve something, because you're feeling something. If it's not grieving, it could even be just like an emotional wound that needs to be felt so that it can be processed and released. And I say this because again, we go through a lot in a day that we kind of forget that we have to tend to our emotional well-being, or even our energetic well-being. If it's not emotional, it's looking inwards and acknowledging that you are feeling something and letting it be felt. Let's get the rest of your cards. We have Toad, 39. Observe, for those who watch see all. You could be very observant this month as well, which is probably why when you're very observant, I feel like you pay attention to small details, especially Virgo season as we start off the month. We pay attention to details, and those details it's not that it triggers us per se, it's just that it stirs something within us. We also have Hinenui Tepo, power. We have Vessel, insight, number 18. 18 and 19. So those 2 days could be important. Maybe that's a particular set of days that you have to yourself. And Temple of Carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. Ooh. Whatever these feelings are, it could be any feeling. I do feel like they're more on the quote negative side. So it could be sadness, it could be anger, it could be frustration. And I feel like sometimes we don't want to feel those feelings, so we bury them down deep inside us. So we still need to release that in some way, shape, or form. I mean, maybe not at the time that it bubbles up, like right there on the spot, but definitely later when you have a moment to yourself, or when you have like a healthy outlet to release that. I feel like that's what needs to be said about your emotions that you may be wanting to repress this month. With the Temple of Carnelian entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet, I say anger because Sekhmet is a goddess of rage. She's a goddess of war, yes, but her rage is what inspired a lot of what, I forget her myth exactly, but I know that the whole point is that she had rage, so she went on a rampage, you know, just with bloodshed everywhere. So for a lot of you, I'm hearing hormones, so maybe some of you are like checking in with your doctors about hormones, or you could be intuitively guided to do so, because I'm thinking of hormonal rage for whatever reason, especially with the vessel, because the vessel makes me think of our bodies. So the rage within our bodies, the emotions within our bodies. Some of you could be seeking out, what's it called? Somatic healing, or that could benefit you definitely, because there's something about storing emotions within the body that could be of importance this month, pile 2, or you could be getting really into that. Because what all of this is trying to focus on is that you could be feeling a sense or lack of power. Sorry, my stomach keeps growling. Like, I'm not usually this hungry in the morning. Maybe for some of you, you might be seeing a doctor due to digestion or belly issues as well, which is very specific. So it may not resonate with everybody. But definitely pay attention to how you're feeling and your body. So let me get the rest of your cards. Pile 2. For pile 2, some of you could benefit from carnelian. I have it right here. It's one of my favorite stones. It's it resonates with the sacral chakra, which is actually where traditionally, or so they say, that we store our emotions, repressed emotions specifically. And I think the emotions that it deals with are shame, guilt, as well as passion, maybe power. I want to say power is more the solar plexus. So you could be dealing with both the sacral and the solar plexus for those of you who deal with chakras. We have womb. Okay, literally some of you could be, because vessel makes me think of a womb. The womb is a vessel in which we carry life, in which we create life. So especially if you're a woman, especially if you have a womb, you could be healing the womb, or you could be storing emotions within there. Especially if you've already had children, I feel like you could be going back to the time when you were pregnant and wondering what emotions, what energy is still stuck within there, if that makes sense. For some of you, this could be your mother's energy, releasing the wounds and the pain of your mother, if you will, from when she was carrying you. Biological, of course, regardless of what kind of connection you may have with her. We have balance. Yeah, balancing the emotions, or balancing what you feel. We have noise. What did I say? Didn't I say it's going to be a noisy month, pile 2? But we could also be talking about energetic noise, like especially those of you who are clairaudient and you hear things. We have root. Especially if you're clairaudient and you're prone to hearing messages from your spirit guides or from the people around you, I feel like you could be working with that. Maybe it's getting a bit overwhelming. I remember, this was back before my spiritual awakening, I met an individual who, it was weird. He's like, I'm sorry if I act weird. There's nothing wrong with me. I just hear voices. And I remember just being, I've never... Like, that was one of the first times that I met somebody who had done that. It was funny because this person didn't come off as crazy at all. They just came off as, like, shy and sweet, but a little, like, always in pain. So maybe some of you are dealing with this. It's funny that that individual came into my mind. Or you could be learning how to discern what you hear from what the universe is trying to tell you. I'm hearing a lot of discernment, and I'm also hearing... paying attention to yourself and your body. It's gonna be a very lovely and intense month for you, pile 2. I feel like this September feels very intense for whatever reason. Usually we don't get that energy until Scorpio season, but it's coming through in Virgo and Libra season, especially if you have Pluto in Virgo or Libra, which would make you Gen X. I almost said Gen Z, not Gen Z, Gen X. So maybe you have Gen Z children. So these are people born in, I think, mid to late 70s and then all the 80s, I think, was all Pluto in Libra, or most of the 80s was Pluto in Libra. So I would check your astrological chart. But with that said, let's move on to the tarot. So you can see more specifically what your general love, relationship, and career and or finance will be for this month. And I want to thank you for clicking on this reading pile 2. If this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear how things resonate, because sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, like I'm just saying things. But that's how channeling is. Okay, so for your general reading, pile 2, we have the Two of Swords. What's interesting, I want to say this came out in the... Did it come out in the first pile? But a similar feeling came out in the first pile. So this lets me know that's what's going on in the collective. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody has been wanting to tell you something for some time and they don't know how to say it. There's a message wanting to come through from something or somebody, maybe an organization. And it's like they have not known how to approach you. Three of Wands, yeah. This could be regarding another individual. This could be regarding gossip. King of Swords. And whoever this person is, they're typically really good at communicating. But when it comes to this specific topic, or when it comes to this specific, whatever the subject matter is, they're a little stumped. This is somebody who usually communicates really well. Maybe it's somebody who's actually close to you. I am getting, for some of you, this could be workplace situation. Like maybe somebody like a boss or a coworker has been wanting to bring something up, but they don't know how. And then for some of you, this could be a friend. But if it is a friend, it's either a friend that you either really trust or a friend that you've known for like a long time, which is why it's weird. This is somebody who is like, you know how you have those friends that you've just known forever and you can say anything in any way and it's like, you know, you won't take it you won't take it personally, or it's easy to communicate. And this person, because I do feel like it's a person, could be multiple people, doesn't know how to bring this up to you, pile 2. It's almost like they're trying to work around it, or they could be stalling. Like maybe when you talk, you notice that they're not getting to the point. So you're kind of like, what are we talking about here? Like they're kind of walking around in circles, talking around in circles, if you will. Back of the deck, we have the Four of Cups, because something has been weighing on their mind. And I feel like it's been a long time that it's been weighing on their mind. This is somebody close to you though. If they're not close to you, they've just known you a long time. So again, I'm thinking of like a coworker, maybe a neighbor, because I'm getting like years. The subject matter, I don't think has lasted years, but the person that is wanting to bring this up has known you years, which is why it's weird for them to be a little apprehensive about bringing this up to you, because they don't know how you'll react. Does that make sense? So yeah, I feel like somebody here wants to come through with a message, and that's going to be something impactful this month for sure, because they don't know what to do. And they're kind of hoping that you're going to bring it up, or that it gets brought up naturally. What's underneath that? Yeah, regarding some sort of, again, gossip is coming through. Queen of Cups. And they really do care about how you feel. So they don't want to hurt your feelings, but they want to bring it up. It's like, I just heard from John Mulaney, that bit he does. That's the thing I'm sensitive about. Like they don't know if you're sensitive about it or not, but they want to talk about it. And they don't know if you'll open up or not, but they want to talk about it. This would be like a friend wanting to bring up like really personal issues, but they've probably brought it up before and they recognize that you acted a weird way. And now it's like, well, do I still bring it up? Again, I'm getting that. If not, it's work. If not, it's, again, somebody who's known you for years. With that said, let's move on to love and relationships, including friendships, because maybe there'll be a little bit more about that in there. But like what exactly they want to talk about. I do get that it's something, I don't even think it has to be a difficult conversation or a difficult subject. I just think they don't know how to talk about it. I keep hearing that thing I'm sensitive about. Like maybe this is something that they know you're sensitive about, or that they're sensitive about, or that they're just uncomfortable talking about. Four of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. You're having fun this month. Especially those of you who have like not had fun in a while, or who haven't seen your friends in a while. This month you're actually getting out there. We have Six of Pentacles. For some of you, maybe the fun was due to the lack of funds, like money, or lack of resources, or lack of time, because the Six of Pentacles reverse is like something wasn't fair, something was not ready, like, or maybe you just weren't in the mood to go out, which is fair. We have the Hanged Man. Something changes your mind about how you view. Oh, okay. Back of the deck, Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so some of you, you're definitely having fun again. For those of you who are single and looking to date, you might actually be going on a date this month, or you might actually start wanting to date somebody, because I see you changing your mind about, if not dating in general, specifically if you're into masculines or into men, or people who identify as more masculine, I see you changing your mind up, or like changing your perspective on how you view dating or how you view certain people. So this month, it's like you're putting yourself out there, or you're just choosing fun. Let's put it that way. I was going to say taking risks, but that's a little exaggerated. I feel like you're choosing fun this month. It's like you want to go out, you want to have fun, you want to experience things. And I feel like you're seeing dating a little differently this month, or somebody really opens up to you. I feel like people are wanting to open up to you this month, for sure. The Hanged Man can also be seen as somebody kind of wanting to show or reveal a side of themselves that they haven't shown before. So there could be somebody, again, masculine energy, Emperor energy, or especially if you're into men, who wants to show you a side of themselves that I feel like they either haven't shown you before, or maybe they just want to treat you to something nice. If you're already in a relationship, same thing. I feel like your partner will want to I just heard you. I just heard that song from Aladdin, I Can Show You the World. That's what I'm hearing. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? Some of you are getting spoiled this month, which I love. I love this for you, pile 2. Claim it. Because the Nine of Pentacles reverse, it's like you haven't been treated out to something nice in a long time. And maybe your partner is acknowledging this. Maybe it's been a while since you've gone out on a date or gone out to dinner. If you're single, same thing. You might be treating yourself out by choosing or accepting a date. Does that make sense? But yeah, you're having fun this month. If you're not into dating at all, if romance is not your thing, this would just be your friends like asking you to go out, and you're like, yeah, sure, actually, I need to go out. You know, it's you acknowledging that you need to go out. Maybe they're even forcing you out. Maybe they're like, hey, come out with us. It's my treat. So I love this. I feel like you've been needing this, pile 2. Let's get your last cards, which are career and or finance. I do try to read it both ways, but sometimes one comes out more than the other. Usually work, because I feel like more people are concerned with the workspace than anything lately. So, pile 2. We have 5 of Wands. Conflict, especially ongoing conflict in the workplace. We have the Moon. Regarding a secret or regarding something that's not being said, a similar message came through in pile 1. So this must be something collectively. We have the 7 of Wands. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm annoyed for you here, pile 2. 10 of Wands. Because you've been working so hard and you've been doing a lot, and either you're working for a company that doesn't pay you enough or doesn't give you enough of what you need, like accommodating your schedule, accommodating your individual needs. It's to the point where like you do so much, and maybe you've even been putting effort into work this month, but it's kind of like they don't seem to care. Back of the deck, we have, yeah, for a lot of you, you could be leaving a work situation. And for a lot of you, you've been wanting to leave. So that's where I get the conflict. I feel like you're going to have the straw that breaks the camel's back. The final straw might be this month for a lot of you. So I do see you leaving. Maybe some of you have already planned this and you're kind of already counting down your days. And I for whatever reason, I'm being told to preface this by saying that this is only a tarot reading. So don't take this like too seriously for some of you. But if you know that it's time to go, you know it's time to go. For a lot of you, this is just confirmation about this. For others of you, it's like you're having to fight every day and you're tired of it. So if you're not leaving your company, you're definitely changing things up because things cannot keep progressing the way that they used to. So if this is, you know, having a serious talk with your boss about your scheduled needs, this is like switching schedules or positions within a company to accommodate your needs. So if you're not leaving, then you're definitely changing up the way you work in the workspace because there's just drastic changes, especially for those of you, for example, if you're in school or going to take classes, you know, you need a certain schedule because something is taking priority over work. Or if you have children and they're going back to school and you need that specific schedule, again, I'm getting a lot of this. There's kind of a lot of pushback from the work situation though, with the 5 and 7 of Wands. It's almost like they don't want to put up with it, which is ridiculous because for some of you, this is something that was expected. So you don't understand why they're not giving you more leniency here or why they're not being as accommodating. And I guess it depends on your workspace as well. The moon, somebody's hiding something. It won't be revealed, but like people are going to catch on to the fact that people are not being completely honest, specifically the higher ups. And that's going to be affecting everybody. Yeah, so there's a lot of upheaval in the workplace. Do take care. For some of you, you just know things are going to change. And for some of you, there's something new on the horizon. Again, new perspective. So either you're doing something new in the workplace or you're quitting and finding something new rather quickly, oddly enough. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you for the month of September, pile 2. Let's move on to your closing advice. Overall, a busy month, which doesn't surprise me. I feel like September is always that month where everybody starts doing a lot more. It's harvest season. It's pre-holiday season for some of you, especially if you work things like retail or anything that's affected by the holidays. I guess I should say the Western holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, etc. And Halloween. So pile 2, your closing advice. I am worthy of safe and healthy relationships. Oh, I love this because there's something about a safe space. Because like I said, somebody wants to tell you something and it's almost like you're reinstating the safe space boundaries. Does that make sense? It's like, because I'm hearing whoever that person is, whoever is wanting to talk to you, you're letting them know, or maybe they're going to let you know that it is a safe space to talk about your concerns. That just because you bring up an issue doesn't mean that things have to blow up. I think certain people get used to that, especially if they come from very toxic or what's the word? Abrasive families, I guess is another way of saying it. When you come from a certain background and you expect everything to blow up in your face, I feel like you're not used to healthy outcomes of the things you have to say or the reactions that you may have, which is really interesting. But you are worthy of safe and healthy relationships here, pile 2. And I feel like it's going to be shown to you this month. A lot of you, you're calling in something healthy. You're calling in something good for you. And this month will affirm it. If not, I would ask the universe to affirm it for you. And back at the deck, I am willing and excited to grow and learn. Yeah, there's definitely growth and learning this month, but it's not going to be in the way that you thought. I think you're going to be growing through your emotions, through how you feel. Oh, I'm hearing a song. Lacuna Coil, if anyone's ever heard of them. When you're taught through feelings. I feel like you're going to learn through what you feel this month, which might be a little bit jarring, especially because it's Virgo season and heading into Libra season. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the Black Moonstone, then we have a reading here for you for the month of September. We're going to see what the month of September has in store for you. And we're going to start with the oracles you chose, and then we're going to get into the tarot, where we'll see more specifically what your general love, relationship, and career and finance are going to be. So I'm going to start with the oracles, which I've pre-selected for this reading. You actually got 2 cards. And For some of you, I think you also came from pile 1. I want to say this card was also in pile 1. But for your main card, Queen of the Dead, 31. Fear not the rage of fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. Maybe some of you are watching all the piles, because I had a similar message in, I think it was the second pile. And then falling leaves, let go of the things that weigh heavily on you. You deserve to take up space. It's definitely a very transformative month this September. I feel like you're going to be releasing something heavy, something that's been bothering you for some time. Let's get the rest of your cards. We have Growth Spiral, number 11. We have Maman Brigitte, Harsh Truths. What is going on in September? We also have Reaper, 32. For the birth of something new to manifest, the death of something holding you back is inevitable. And Magic and Ritual, Crafting Sacred Practice. For those of you who do any sort of spell work or any sort of ritual or practices, I feel like they're finally coming to fruition this September, but I don't think you understand the strength of it. I feel like it's going to be more powerful than before or more intense, which may or may not be what you were looking for. I feel like for a lot of you, you've been wanting like actual change. You've been wanting to see results. You've been wanting visual proof of something. You're going to get it this month. And I feel like for others of you, there's definitely something that's been needing to be released, which I think, again, is a very similar message to previous piles. But in this one, it's almost like the universe is calling you to, well, one, there is a truth that maybe you need to accept or that has been hard to accept, and you may be getting more visual proof of that, or whatever sort of proof. It could be maybe auditory, but usually we I think we want to believe what we see more than anything, but you're getting some sort of proof. And two, I forgot where I was going with that. I feel like, that universe wants you to take control of your life here, but in a way that I'm trying to, like, I don't know how to put this, but it's basically taking back control. Let's get the rest of your cards. Maybe they'll help a little bit. But yeah, I feel like you're putting an end to something, and it might cause anger to end this, or like the ending of something may cause rage. If this isn't your rage, it could be somebody else's. But for a lot of you, especially if you internalize your anger or if you don't like to show it, whenever I was, and they say, whenever I was learning to work with energy, because I am an energy healer, sometimes it's the happiest people or like the nicest people who have the most anger because they refuse to show it or they don't want to release it. So for some of you, especially if you're extra sweet and nice, I feel like all that anger you've been storing within yourself is finally going to be released. And I'm not sure in what way, but it's been building up. It's time to release some of it in the healthiest way possible, of course. And for some of you, you may be seeing this within somebody else, maybe somebody close to you. We have Sovereignty. We have Give. Some of you could be giving away some of your things. We have Joy. It's funny. We have all this anger and then we have joy. It's going to be a great month, I promise. But there's something so deep within you that wants to be released. And I think that particular release of anger, rage, emotion, or even just letting go of a certain situation, or maybe even just letting go of something is going to contribute to your growth here. And Escape. Some of you could be taking a little vacation, a little break. Back of the deck. Compassion. You know what I'm getting? I'm being shown an example in my life. This was, so when I bought my first house was during COVID. So I had a lot going on because I was dealing with a lot of, you know, all the rules and regulations that was happening in 2020. And then I was also trying to buy a house, which was new for me. Like I did not know what to do. And not only that, but when I asked the people around me, it had been like, for example, my parents, they didn't know what the new house buying procedures were. It had changed so much because they had bought their house a long time ago. And then they decided to take, what happened? They weren't around. Why were they? I don't know, but they weren't there for me for whatever reason. And I remember being in the workspace and I just got so angry. And I lashed out at something or somebody, and I felt really bad afterwards. But it was all this stress building up within me, too many things happening at the same time, all hitting me at once, that I reacted in a way that I typically wouldn't. But luckily my sweet bosses, they were so understanding. They were also, very strong, independent women who they know how hard it is to try to take on everything on your own. And they saw that I was young. They saw that that I wasn't getting the support that I needed at the time. I'm getting a little choked up about this because I don't really talk about this. I don't think I've ever spoken about this to anyone. But they were so nice, even though typically like me and those bosses did not get along. They were, I did get in trouble. I did get the write-up or whatever for lashing out how I did. But they were like, hey, let's give you a few days off so you can take care of whatever's going on. I feel like you're going to have a similar situation to that. I'm not saying that you'll lash out at anybody. Hopefully you don't. I don't know what came over me when that happened. It was like, it's one of those out-of-body experiences. And I felt very sorry. And I did apologize to, I don't even remember who I said it to. But I think she was very forgiving too, because like I said, they were all very understanding that I was going through a lot, and they'd never seen me like that either. So maybe some of you are being in a vulnerable position this month, pile 3, where you don't typically act the way you do. And we all get through this. We encounter new emotions, we encounter new experiences that bring out something within us that we don't understand. And I feel like in this specific case, it's letting go of something. Maybe you've never had to let go of something like this before. Maybe you've never had so much put upon you. And I feel like somebody might, especially with the harsh truth, I see this as somebody lovingly coming to you to tell you what's going on. It may or may not be somebody who's close to you, because like I said, it was my bosses who I was definitely not close to at the time. I wouldn't consider them friends. They didn't even like me, and I didn't even like them. But because the humanity within them was seeing my humanity, there was like a very mutual understanding. And I felt like I should have gotten in trouble. I felt like I should have gotten fired for how I reacted, but I wasn't, because, we're all human. And I feel like that's part of the growth experience, is understanding that we're human. And sometimes as humans, we'll have very complicated and very complex feelings. And those feelings can be valid, but navigating those feelings can be very tricky. Because after all, this compassion card is actually a compass. It's navigating your feelings and navigating compassion. You might get, especially with sovereignty and give, you might actually be getting something, like somebody who typically doesn't like you, or somebody who doesn't have a very high opinion of you, might actually do something very kind for you that you weren't expecting. And that itself may cause this emotional release. Like maybe that itself will bring in something within you, or it could even make you mad. It's almost like, how dare you take pity on me? I don't know, but for a lot of you, there's like emotional, I need to look at what's going on astrologically in September, because there's like some weird emotional vibes going on. But overall, I feel like you're actually going to have fun this month. Like once that storm passes, this month is actually going to be really good for you. And it's also a great month for, again, if you do spell work, it's a great month for that. Or any sort of ritual. Definitely for manifestation. If you want to manifest something, it's a great month to do so. Because I feel like you'll actually manifest something almost instantaneously. It's like as soon as you ask for it that evening, boom, it's there. So take that, Amazon. So let's go ahead and get your cards. Also prayer, for those of you who are more like, I feel like prayer is the easiest form of manifestation because it's very simple to learn. I feel like almost every child is taught some form of, if not prayer, then I'm thinking of like gratitude practices, grace I'm hearing for some of you. So grace could be something that is important this month, or granting you grace, a grace period, mercy. Some of you are avoiding something, or not avoiding, but it's like you're dodging something. Somebody's like allowing you to They're having mercy on you, is what I'm hearing. Which is very nice. Very kind. Okay. We have the Hierophant reversed. Yeah, it's like a karmic lesson. Or you're learning a karmic lesson without the drama that sometimes comes with it. We have Justice. The reason they're coming out reversed is because you weren't expecting this. Like I just shared that little story. You feel like you're getting away with something that you shouldn't be getting away with. But the truth is, it's like both the universe and the people around you are like, no, you're going through a lot. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Something out of your control. Because for a lot of you, this is outside your control. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. Again, it's like you're avoiding or you're being very protected. I guess another way of seeing this is that you're being very divinely protected. Maybe some of you thought that you weren't. Maybe some of you thought that you had no spirit guides, no guardian angels looking out for you. And the truth is that they're here with you. And maybe that's what's kind of bringing this significant change. I have, for whatever reason, I keep being brought stories for you, pile 3. So I don't know if this is the pile that's okay with me sharing personal stories or whatever. Back of the deck, 5 of Wands. Because I'll be honest for you, like a lot of you, it's a month where I don't want to say that things won't be easy, but it's kind of like maybe you're finally realizing that, and this isn't to blame you or anything, and I don't mean to call you out. So take this only if it resonates. Sometimes you're only making things harder because you expect them to be harder. And it's like somebody's coming in, whether it's your spirit guides, other people, somebody's coming in to tell you it doesn't have to be difficult. If not, at the very least, me. Let it be me who has to tell you it does not have to be difficult. I feel like a lot of you have been closing yourself off to some options that are actually available to you, or that things, I'm hearing it doesn't have to end badly. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be a struggle. It's almost like, again, especially if you come from a background where you expect things to be difficult, if you had, generational family trauma where it was expected that things would go a certain way, you're not used to things working out sometimes. And I feel like this month is going to show you that it can work out. And I really do feel like somebody's going to take your hand and say this, because I'm kind of speaking very, very calmly, which I don't always do. But this month, it's going to show you that things are going to be okay and that things can be okay. You're just not used to peace. You're just not used to things working out. But you'll learn to vibe with it. Definitely to learn to allow things to be good. Yeah. The Devil, and then the 6 of Wands, and then Death reverse. 3 of Wands. Some of you are just not used to that. I feel like you're not used to things working out. I keep hearing that. But I think you'll be surprised at how beautifully things can work out for you. There's a silver lining in everything. Let's go ahead and get your love and relationship cards. A Taurus or a Libra could be important, which is funny because they're both ruled by Venus. And Venus is definitely a very compassionate planet. I'm thinking of I can explain everything in life astrologically. It's kind of annoying, but I hope this makes sense. I feel like you're going to draw people to you who find it very easy to be forgiving to you about almost everything. Let's get your relationship cards. We have the 10 of Cups. Yeah. Interesting that the 10 of Cups was reversed here, but it's upright in the relationship section. We have the 3 of Cups. You're surrounded by people who adore you. You're surrounded by people who make you happy. And I think that's one thing you have to understand. There are people supporting you. There are people rooting for you. There are people who want the best for you. If you don't have physical people, at the very least know and understand your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, because you do have a spirit team out there. I don't care what your beliefs are. I feel like everyone's got, those spirits that have their back. They're out there for you. They're rooting for you. They believe in you. They know you can do it. And it's interesting because these 2 cards, these are, I forget what these little dudes from the the movie Princess Mononoke are called, but they're like little spirits. And I think of the scenes where they're just like walking around, just, you know, having fun, walking through the forest, following the dude and Princess Mononoke. You know, I see that, like, this, your spirits are supporting you at the very least. But for a lot of you, it's also your friends, your family, the family that, you know, that you choose to be family. And then we have the Three of Cups, which, again, Totoro is the spirit of the forest in that movie. And you have so much support you don't even recognize. This could even be maybe even just like your distant friends online. There's people who believe in you. Pile 3. Oh, not me having the deck upside down, sorry. We have, there he is, Ashitaka, that's his name. Speaking of Princess Mononoke, King of Wands. You definitely have somebody here who wants to help you. It's almost like somebody here wants to be, I just heard that song by Enrique Iglesias, I Can Be Your Hero, Baby. So somebody here wants to really help you out. It doesn't have to be a romantic interest, but because it did show up in the relationships and romance section, it's at the very least a friend. So for some of you, this could be a friend who's got a lot of control, a lot of power, or is very experienced in what you're going through and who wants to give you good advice. So it could be a friend, or it could be somebody who's romantically interested in you and they want to show up for you. If you already have a partner, this is definitely your partner. It's like they want to help you out. And they may even do something for you. Like maybe you don't want to have to go through with something, so they'll do it for you. We have the Three of Wands. And the Seven of Cups. If you're single, you're recognizing, I feel like people are coming through to tell you how much they like you, or how they think. I'm getting people expressing their admiration for you. So if you're single, you could be getting a lot of that. Maybe even if you're not single, people are still like giving you compliments and, you know, again, expressing their gratitude and admiration for you, giving you a lot of support, a lot of vocal and verbal support for sure. I feel like people are showing up for you in September. Back of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. There's somebody here, take this only if it resonates. There's somebody here who, they know whenever you shut yourself down emotionally, they're very attuned to your needs. They're emotionally sensitive, or no, what's the word? Emotionally aware enough to understand that when you start acting a different way, it means that something's going on. Again, it could be a friend, it could be your lover, it could be your partner. I'm not getting parent. I was gonna say parent, but I'm not really getting that. It could be a friend who is like a parent, like an older friend or a more experienced friend who's like always looking out for you. And maybe they're checking in with you and they're noticing that things aren't right. Do you ever just get that? Like you think of somebody, so then like they call you or you call them, and then it's like, what's going on? And then you find out like some earth-shattering news, and it's like, oh, well, no wonder I was thinking about you. And that's like the universe letting you know, hey, something's going on. So I'm getting something similar to that. You have a lot of support from the people who love you, because there are people who love you here, Pile 3. I love that. And then we got your career and finance. For some of you, this King of Wands person could be new. Maybe you're meeting them in September, or maybe you met them recently, because I'm trying to tap into that energy, and I'm like, who is this? For some of you, this is a new person, because I think it's funny the way like his little bow and arrow is pointing at these little characters over here, and it's almost like he's saying that one, like he's pointing at somebody. I think somebody here might have taken an interest in you, and they're wanting to learn about you. Regardless of whether you're looking for romance or not, I do feel like they're interested. If you're already taken, you might have to tell them that you're taken, and you know. So work, we have the Hierophant reversed. Interesting that we have the Hierophant reversed in both the general and work and work and career, work and finance. We have the World. I swear, I don't know what's happening in September, but I feel like a lot of workplaces are feeling some sort of upheaval because we're starting a new, and I'm talking in terms of how businesses are run. We're starting a new a new quarter, but in the workspace and with companies, everything is so different now than it was last year or the previous years that they're having to scramble and they're having to implement new things, and people are having a hard time adapting. And I'm talking everybody, not just the people who are working. It's also the higher ups, which explains why I've been getting a lot of career messages lately. Page of Cups. However, my career videos don't do anywhere near as well as all the other videos. So if you want me to do more career videos, let me know in the comments below. And also go check out the ones I already have, because whatever gets more likes and views, I'm going to continue doing that. You know, I got to follow the results. Okay, and 10 of Pentacles reversed and 6 of Cups. Yeah, things are, for a lot of you, things are not going to be able to go back to the way they were because they've implemented new things, and certain companies are not going to want to go back to how they wanted to do things. Oh, okay. I don't know why this message is coming through. If it applies and if it resonates, take it. But small businesses are gonna have a hard time keeping afloat. I don't know if some of you work for a small business or if you run a small business, but it's definitely going to be different. I don't want to say difficult, but it's different. It's like you're having to adapt to new things, and some will survive it, some won't. I think it all depends. Because I keep being shown, you know, in like the little historic downtown districts, or in, I guess, regular downtown districts, depending on where you live in the world, they'll always have a lot of shops, little shops here and there, little stores that sell trinkets that you may or may not need. I'm seeing a lot of those shut down. I'm literally seeing that vision. So, and this is worldwide. It's not just in one specific place. Not to worry anybody. I just feel like some businesses will close, which might benefit you if you want to get stuff, you know, liquidated or at a low price. And then others are going to be able to survive miraculously for whatever reason. But in the workspace, I don't want to, for whatever reason, I don't want to talk about, like, I'm having a hard time explaining what's going on. You have the 4 of Swords, Page of Cups. Some of you may take a break. If you own your own business, you may take a break this month. That may be like a better option for you. Especially if you have the if you can. Because I know I'm taking a break in September from doing personalized readings. So this is a message for you to get your readings in by the last day of August. That will be the last day that I take any messages, or sorry, any requests for personalized readings. Not to plug myself in here. Why is it so hard to talk about career? For some of you, you may not have a job right now. And for others of you, it's kind of like you're numbing yourself to what's going on in the workspace. It's like you show up, you work, and you leave. You show up, you work, and you leave. It's like you don't care what's going on. For some of you, gosh, what's going on in the workspace? Yeah, you show up, you work, and you leave. Because the 10 of Swords is like taking a break, but I'm seeing taking like an emotional or mental break from this. But then I'm also seeing the Page of Cups, which is like, it's not wanting to feel anything. It could be emotional, like an emotional drainage as well in the workspace. The Anchor. Some of you might have a new boss, the Lovers. Some of you could be focusing on your love life, honestly. Especially if you're staying home from work, for example, especially if you've recently been married, if you've recently had children, or if you had some sort of life change that allows you to stay home, you may not be focusing on work at all. Because when it comes to your finances, I see you budgeting big time. I also see you only spending when you need to. And 3 of Pentacles. And yet, oddly, I feel like your coworkers will be checking in on you. Back of the deck, we have the Star. And lots of hope. So either you will find a job. If you're looking for a job, you will find a job. For others of you, you may just not be working this month, which is okay. And finance-wise, you're just, watching what you have so you're not overspending, or you're not having to... The energy in the finance and career section for this pile specifically is very odd. Some of you could be focusing more on your personal life, and I feel like you need to. I feel like it's a good thing. For some of you, there could be family needs that need to be attended to. And maybe you don't want to, but you need to. Because I'm being shown examples that I actually don't want to share, because there are other people I know and I don't want to. But let's say they're, like, for example, if we're using the small business model here, it's like certain things pop up in your life so you can't run your small business. So you're having to attend to things that don't have anything to do with work or money. Does that make sense? That's what I'm getting. I'm just going to leave it there. Because I'm getting nothing with career and finance, and that is so odd. It's usually career and finance is like the one section of the tarot where I'm always like super chatty and able to pick up on things quickly. But for this pile, I guess we just don't have much going on there. Just, watch your finances if you are not having any income right now, and definitely focus on the positives and the future if you want to have a career or a job, which is, that energy is so odd. If that wasn't, if you didn't like that career and finance section, you can choose another pile and go directly to that section, I guess. But for some of you, that might be resonating, the fact that you actually don't really have much, or you can't pay attention to job and finances, career and finances this month. All right, let's get your closing cards. I've never had that happen. That is so weird. Okay, we have, my fears do not control me. Yeah, your fears do not control you, so fear not. We go through bad times, but the bad times don't last forever. They can't. There's too much balance in the world for the bad times to last forever. And we also have, I am on my own timeline. I will not compare my journey to anybody else's. You're on your own timeline here, pile 3. You do things in your own time. You do things when you're ready. You do things in divine orchestration. Also, I love how both of these froggies have very similar boots. They're pink and they got little patterns. This one has stars and this one has flowers. Oh, I love these cards. They're so cute. But this is where I leave it, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the Golden Healer Palm Stone, then we have a reading here for you for the month of September. We're going to see what the month of September has in store for you. We're going to get into the oracles, and then we're going to get into the tarot, where we have our general love, relationship, and career and finance. So we're going to get started with the oracles that were pre-selected for you. Let's start with this card. Maple Tree, number 24. There is a change coming that is so big it will shift all that exists. Oh yeah, okay. I'll be honest, this pile, the energy here feels very familiar. It's almost like I've been waiting for this pile, or I've been waiting for your energy here, pile 4, which is really interesting. There is something that is expected here, definitely. I feel like maybe some of you are going through a change that you know is happening in September. The maple tree does make me think of Canada because of the little maple leaf. Maybe some of you are Canadian or could be going to Canada this month. And it also makes me think of maple syrup, which I love. But let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. We have Shapeshifting, number 35. Transformation is not the loss of what once was. It is the evolution of a more powerful self. The 24th of the month could be important. Also 24 and 35, maybe somebody here could be these ages, or the time period from when you were 24 to 35 could be of importance here. We have, is that Cartouche? Divine Names of Power. I'm going to read from the book for this one. We also have Nyx, Darkness. Connection. You're going to be meeting people this month. You're also going to be, because you know what's funny? I was actually listening back to one of my old readings before I started this pile. I was, I think it's the 2025 romance predictions. Sometimes I like to go back to the yearly predictions to see what has come true or what has already happened or what's like on the verge of happening. Maybe some of you are doing that as well. But I feel like for some of you, you could be focusing on, if you already have a partner, you could be focusing on them. Maybe some of you have met somebody new. And for some of you, this could be like friendships or relationships with other people in general. Some of you could have like Virgo and Libra in the 7th house. Like this could be the time of year where like the sun goes through your 7th house, like myself. So that would make you either like a late Pisces rising or an early Aries rising. You are going through changes. And not only that, you could also be seeing other people going through changes. The shape-shifting makes me think that the changes are necessary. Also with darkness here, it's almost like seeing your shadow self or seeing a shadow aspect of yourself or other people around you, especially if you're already in a connection with somebody, if you're already dating somebody. You might be seeing a side of them that you typically don't see. I'm thinking of like how people change throughout the seasons, like how people change throughout the year, which to me I've always described it astrologically, but it can also just be the seasons affecting people. So seasonal affective disorder could be important here. Not that I'm diagnosing anybody, but maybe they already have that. And this was always the best advice. I think it was my French teacher who said this in high school. It's like, don't marry somebody unless you've seen them go through all the seasons. Watch them go through everything. Maybe she said that because of a previous marriage or something, but I feel like you're getting to know different seasons of people, if you will. So I actually love that. Also different seasons of yourself. If it's not somebody else, maybe it's you, especially if you're in a new environment or if you've recently gone through a change. You may be noticing that this shape-shifting could be involuntary. Like you're not doing this of your own choosing. It's like you're shifting, you're changing, almost as if to blend in with the current environment or the current, I almost said the current economy for some of you. Maybe you're thinking of the economy. But it's almost like you're shifting to blend in because after all, we are much like animals. We have to blend in to survive, or we have to change and adapt to survive. Let me read from the book for Cartouche. I just realized I mentioned Canada, and cartouche sounds like a French word, and I mentioned my French teacher. Maybe some of you are brushing up on your French if you speak it, or maybe you're going somewhere that speaks French, like Quebec in Canada. So, divine names of power. Lady Isis initiates you now into her special mysteries. The use of sacred intonations. The words that you speak are rapidly gaining power. To benefit from this power, rather than be undermined or held back by it, practice thoughtful speech and clear your heart of old unforgiveness, which can poison your words unintentionally. As your heart grows in purity, you will be able to speak with spiritual authority. And what you speak of will come into being more swiftly and obviously. Isis is initiating you as a master healer in her sacred tradition of divine names of power. So your words carry power. The words you speak to other people, the words you speak to yourself, the words you speak out loud, and I would even go so far as to say the words that you hear. I used to give this advice a lot in like old readings, and I only remember this because it would come up a lot, but sometimes the things that you listen to can alter and shape the way you think or view the world. So if you're going through a period in life or a period in time when things are a little bit difficult, it might help to listen to more positive things. I do this with music a lot because some of my favorite music, my most favorite music, can be a little sad, it can be a little depressing, or it can be a little, like I used to listen to angry music when I was younger. However, I can't listen to that anymore all the time. I have to be in a mood, or I have to be in like that kind of mindset. Like I have to be, in a specific way. But be careful to what you're listening to. Be careful what you're intaking in general, especially on social media. Because if you're going through a rough patch, if you're going through something, you don't want to be influenced by negativity that is not yours when you were not in a negative mood to begin with. Something along those lines. So do be careful of the words around you, the words you say, and the words you hear, as well as the words that are repeated. Some of you may have come from a different pile, because there was one where I was talking about clairaudience, which I'm not that clairaudient. I'm more claircognizant. That's just knowing. I will say things like, oh, I hear this and I hear that, but that's only because there's no real word for me to explain. I know, like I'll just know things. Like things will just pop into my head like I know them, like they've always been common knowledge to me. And there's no way of expressing that. It's like I can say I sense, I feel, I hear. So I may say that I hear, but I don't actually hear. So I just thought I'd clarify that for some of you. I do feel things. I will feel energy. I guess I can say I sense, but that feels a little too woo-woo for me. Even though I'm here in my tarot channel with my tarot cards. But anyway. Pile 4. We have open. Yeah, you're going through a new chapter in life. A door is opening, you're stepping through it. We have blockage. You're releasing blockages. Or you may notice a blockage and you may attend to it however you need to. Because new experiences will bring out the triggers within us that we don't realize that are there. So it's kind of like, I'm going through something new and I'm feeling this way. Why is that? It may be a blockage. For a lot of you, it is a blockage and you're releasing it. We have magic. And you got 2 cards. Rage and growth. I swear, rage and anger has been coming up in the majority of these piles. So there's got to be something going on in September that is making everybody angry. Not sure what it is. Or maybe everybody's being fueled by rage, which I would look to your in astrology, your Mars sign and your Pluto, because those are, I would say those are the more transformational of the planets. Maybe your moon sign as well for some of you, because I want to say that Mars is going into, I think it's still in Libra for this month. I would look at it astrologically. I don't check up on all the planets all the time. I probably should, but I feel like this month you're growing and you're shape-shifting. It's almost like once you release your anger, once you feel the rage, it will inspire growth. After all, I love volcanoes because that the magma creates very fertile soil that allows things to grow. So it may be destroying things in its path, but once it cools down and refertilizes, it will bring in new things as well. I'm thinking of that scene from, I can't remember if it's the original Fantasia or Fantasia 2000, the Disney film, where it's one of the endings, I think it's 2000, where the phoenix rises and she destroys the whole forest, but then it comes back again, like she regrows everything. So something has to be destroyed in order for something new to begin. Very strong Plutonic energy. I feel like that's been a very common theme this month. Again, everybody's going through the changes. It's not just going to be anybody who clicks on this reading and these piles, it's worldwide. So that's going to be very interesting to watch and see. The words you speak are magic, so be careful what you speak. And don't be afraid of your shadow. Sometimes our shadow side tries to tell us things. Our shadow side is that side that doesn't care to be nice and doesn't care for pretenses. I think that's why they call it the shadow. Not because it's evil, not because it's more powerful or whatever. It's just that side of us that will not put up with the facade. That's how the darkness with Nyx here is coming through. So for a lot of you, you're paying attention to your shadow side. It's like, hey, it's time to get going. Hey, it's time to see this for what it is. And it's time to open up that door and step through it. A lot of you, you're changing. And for some of you, it might have something to do with a connection. Not gonna lie, I feel like it does. It might have something to do with a friendship or a relationship. This is number 43, by the way. I forgot to say that. Maybe somebody here is 35, 43. Maybe somebody here is 24, 35. The 24th could be important, which I think that's when we shift into Libra. So with that said, let's move on to the tarot. This pile is so interesting. I'm like in and out of channeling. So for a lot of you, you're very spiritual, very attuned to the universe, to your spirit, for sure. I think I love those readings the most, where I space out and it's like, at the end of the reading, I'll stop recording. I'm like, what did I even say during that entire pile? Okay, pile 4. We have the Sun. The Sun reversed. We have King of Wands. How did it want to come out? Upright. Interesting. For those of you who, like I said, if there is a new connection, this person could be a fire sign or have a lot of fire predominantly within their chart. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Judgment. For some of you, not all of you, there could be somebody coming in that offers you like a relationship, and that relationship changes everything. Because I'm thinking almost like a Cinderella story. I'll be honest, for a lot of you, this could be that, where like you meet somebody and because they have such a different way of life, they could offer you something different. However, this will be something that's already been pre-established. So it's not going to be somebody that you meet this month and you get into a relationship with this month. This is somebody who you already know, or who you've already, like, there's some trust here. If not, you could meet somebody like this month. But it will be a long time before you get to that point. But for some of you, because you are so energetically attuned and you're so psychic, you're able to sense that you meet somebody and they're going to be different. So it's almost like you're living, gosh, I hope this makes sense. It's like you're living several lifetimes at once because you meet this person. Does that make sense? Oh God, I don't know what it is that you do pile for, but your energy is like, it's so interesting. The Emperor reversed. Page of Pentacles. Some of you have been trying too hard for too long, and this person coming in is helping you out and showing you how to do it easier. This could be somebody, this person is spiritual. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. If they're not actively spiritual, they might just have like a very naturally spiritual vibe to them. Like, this would be somebody who meditates without them realizing. And I say meditate, maybe manifesting. I don't know if they do or not. If they do manifest, they don't use it to, I don't know why this has to be said. They don't use it negatively. So they're great at manifesting, but they may not be a millionaire, but they know how to make life work for them. Does that make sense? Because I think people hear manifestation and they think somebody who's living, you know, with so much money, often like a penthouse or whatever. This person could do that if they wanted to. They don't, because they know that's not their thing. Like, they don't care about that. They care about people, and they care about the environment, and they care about, I'm hearing the earth, but I don't know if that's like the people of earth or if that's like nature or whatever. But I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of that. This person comes in and changes your life. This could be a mentor, but for a lot of you, I'll be honest, it feels a little bit deeper than that, like a friendship, like a strong friendship, or even a relationship. Maybe both. Maybe it starts off as a friendship and then turns into a relationship, depending on what you're looking for and what your availability is. It does feel a little bit like a mentor. For some of you, this could be you, and you're being asked to learn from this person and embody certain things of this person. Because, like I said, it's an intense month, especially those of you who have like father issues. Those could be rising up here. You also feel disempowered a little bit this month, but I don't think it's going to bother you. It's more like you're aware enough that whenever you do feel disempowered, or whenever the universe sends you something weird your way, it means that you have to look internally and you're going to do the healing. So for some of you, you could actually be looking forward to this, because it's like, I'm seeing that scene from Marie Kondo, where she walks into the room, and she's known for organizing people's things. She does the spark joy thing where she declutters and cleans up things. But she'll walk into a room full of like clutter and mess, and she's like, I love mess. And the reason she loves it is because it allows her to do her thing. Her thing is organizing, cleaning, decluttering, etc. Like, that's her thing. So when she sees something that is a challenge for her, she loves it. I'm seeing something similar here for you, Pile 4, in terms of personal growth. So while other people may hate when chaos happens, you're here like, interesting. The universe is sending me another lesson. How am I going to rise up to the occasion? You and this person that you meet are very similar in that regard. And I feel like that's why you vibe. This is why you two get together. You vibe with each other. You understand each other. It's like you both love a challenge, or you both have similar outlooks on life. So it's like you speak the same language, the same energetic language. Back of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Financially, you're set, but if it's not about finances, it's about abundance in general. And abundance isn't always about money. Abundance is having what you need when you need it, and knowing that you will always be provided with it, regardless of what that is. Abundance could be, for example, shelter, food. I'm hearing health for some of you. Maybe you're focusing on your health. So that's what I'm getting. Let's move on to relationships, because I'm really excited about who this person is. Strong. The sun here is Leo, but I'm also getting Aries with the Emperor. Judgment is Pluto. So this person, I mean, they could be the Pluto in Sagittarius generation, which would be like most of Gen Z. But they could also have like a very strongly aspected Pluto, which would make them somebody who's really good at transformation. Again, you're up for the challenge. You love a good transformation. That's part of the reason you're so spiritual. Spiritual people, it's like we're always having to go through transformations. You just get used to it to the point where it's like, this is fun. But the person who's not used to it wouldn't like it. It's no different than going to the gym, and people who love going to the gym love a challenge because they get to lift weights and do all that. But people who aren't used to it, like myself, are like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm a cardio person. I wish I could be more of a weightlifting person. See, I can't even say it right. Pile. We have the sun again. We have the Hermit reversed. You're coming out of Hermit mode. You're actually going out there having fun, dating or whatever. I like this image. I think this is from the Secret World of Ariete. And this dude is like plucking her. So somebody could literally be like beckoning you out of Hermit mode or plucking you from Hermit mode, especially if you have those friends who like come knock at your door and it's like, hey, get ready, we're gonna go out somewhere. Bless those friends. Because me having been an introvert for so long, and whenever I did initiate things, like things just wouldn't go my way, I would be grateful for friends who actually want to do something. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. Yeah. The veil is lifting. Not the veil, well, maybe it is for some of you, but the blindfold is being lifted off of you. I'm hearing Here Comes the Sun. The song. Knight of Wands. Oh, somebody's really into you. Because we have the Knight of Wands here and then the King of Wands. Somebody wants to be your King of Wands. Pile 4. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is fated. Somebody you're meant to meet. You're going to either meet or get with or like solidify something with in September. Back of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting that we keep having a Ten of Pentacles. Lots of stability. Your finances are set this month, by the way, Pile 4. Regardless of what comes up in career and finance, you don't have to worry about your abundance. You're going to have your needs met. Maybe because of this person. But for a lot of you, I can't help but feel that there's someone around you, maybe for some of you multiple, who are really interested, especially if you are single. If you're not single, they're interested in helping advance your career, maybe because you have a really good set of skills or talents that they need. For a lot of you, it is romantic, because the majority of people who come to tarot readings just happen to be single. Not everybody, but a good majority. And it's almost like they're hovering, and it's almost like they're waiting to strike. In fact, I want to say the King of Wands came out in another reading. If you're coming from that pile, that could be confirmation. But they're going to want to take you out. And I feel like you're going to be flattered at the very least. So it is going to make you want to step up and like look better, do better, hit the gym, whatever it is that you do whenever your lover girl, lover boy energy is activated, because I do sense that. I do get that. Some of you may be reluctant though, because I am sensing the reluctance here. Some of you are saying, nah, no thanks. But I don't know if it's a good enough offer. And I feel like for a lot of you it is. It might be something worth pursuing. But with that said, let's move on to your... And by the way, this doesn't have to be commitment, even though I am seeing like a huge potential for that. This could just be setting you up for something long-term. At the very least, a friendship, or like finally getting back out there in the dating scene for some of you, which is interesting. Okay, let's get your career and finance. Pile 4, because I kind of want to sit here and tease you about this person all day. Maybe somebody will. We have the Star, Queen of Swords. Look, in the workplace, you're very valued. Whatever's going on in the workplace, people want you there. People respect your opinion. They love your input. You are doing well in the workplace. I think that's why your finances are solid. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, people are going to be asking for your help and advice. Even if you're not in a position of power, there's something about your wisdom, your knowledge, or your expertise. We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, people are really wanting to be around you. It's almost like you have a very infectious energy in the workplace. Maybe you just always show up with like a smile on your face and people love this. Or maybe you're just you're a hot commodity in the workplace. If you work somewhere where people have to be in teams, people are going to want you on their team. People may even ask for you. Maybe you overhear somebody saying, hey, can I get pile 4 to work with me? Because you're just, whatever you have going on, they love it. And Death reversed. A few ways to take this. One way of seeing this, I do feel like certain people will be leaving, but you're not, so you're staying. So it's like if there's like unfortunately, there might be like some sort of layoff or people being let go. I feel like you avoid that. 2, there could be new experiences or new things being implemented in the workplace. So far, this is like the most positive of the work and finance situations that I've had in all the piles, by the way, pile 4. But you get to see and witness the changes here, which might be why people come to you. It's like, what do we do? You know, some people are not good at handling change, but I feel like you are. Because like I said, strong Plutonic energy. You must have a very strong Pluto placement. Definitely Pluto and Scorpio if you're of that generation like myself, but you might have it aspected positively with other things as well. Back of the deck, we have the Devil. Look, you're avoiding some BS in the workplace. You're being protected or you're avoiding it. That's for sure. And that might be why people kind of want to come to you, because it seems like you're having a good time or an easy time of something and they're wanting to know how you do it. So I feel like you're avoiding something. And the advice here is to be discerning. Don't just give everybody your secrets, because ask yourself, would people do the same thing for you that you do for them? Because there's going to be people out here who want to take advantage of the fact that maybe you're so nice, but they would never do the same for you. So do be careful of that. An Aquarius could be important here. A Scorpio could be important, and a Capricorn. I'm getting that energy very strongly in the workplace. And then in your personal life, you got that King of Wands. Knight of Wands is going to turn into a King of Wands who's going to like ignite something within you. And by the way, this person, they're solid. Whoever they are, they're not somebody who's going to come here to play around. Even though you might think that at first with the Knight of Wands, it's like, oh, this person's just an F boy, F girl, whatever. No, they're not here to play. They might flirt that way, but I think there's actually something there. I don't know why romance is coming through so strongly in this pile. Okay, but let's go ahead and move on in to your last cards, your closing advice. This is my longest pile, but like I said, whenever I get those piles where they're just so spiritually connected, I want to sit here and channel all day because your energy is just so good. I can see why people really want you in the workspace and why you're attracting this particular person. So pile 4, your closing advice. We have, I am on my own timeline. I will not compare my journey to anybody else's. You do you, and don't worry about everybody else. You do you, and help only those people who have helped you out as well. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. It's irrelevant. You have to stick with what you have going on. Because I think, again, if you're very spiritual, if you're very attuned and connected to the universe, you understand that what you see is not always what you get. And what you pay attention to is what you draw to you. So you're being very much in the energy of, I do my own thing and everybody else does theirs. And then back of the deck, I trust myself. Yeah, trusting yourself, trusting the universe, and just overall trusting. But this is where I leave it, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care.